I've been reaching for comic books and graphic novels lately as a way to digitally unplug, and they just provide the perfect amount of stimulation. They're engaging both visually and when it comes to the narrative, but they're also passive enough that I actually crave them when I do really want to just relax, or sometimes if I have to chew on a novel, I do have to be a little bit more plugged in and reread passages. And I've loved slowly building my comic book and graphic novel collection. It has been so fun, but they do add up, even though comics are such an accessible way to read. I mean, they can be a couple bucks, but if you read a lot of comics, it is more than a couple bucks. In the comic world, it is really easy to slip into overconsumption without realizing it. It's fun. There's a culture of discovery that people really gravitate to. And this is all something I would like to talk about in depth at some point, but not today. And I've noticed in some of my comments that some of you feel similarly. So I just wanted to address something that I've been doing that has really changed how I consume comics and graphic novels for the better. I've been taking advantage of my local library, and I know that's nothing provocative or sexy, but I still wanted to share my take because I don't really think it's talked about a lot in this framework, and it's nice to have a reminder, and it's nice to hear people's very specific perspectives. So here's why the library works so well for me, and it might work for you too. First off, the stakes are just low. So I can browse the shelves at a library, pick up a book, flip through it, maybe take it home if I'm not sure, before committing to owning it, to purchasing it, to spending money on something that I want to keep in my home. And then that way, if I do love it, then I can go and purchase it to own with more confidence, and I know that I'm spending my money on, maybe it's the beginning of a series that I know I'm going to want to read all the way through, and I don't just have a random volume 1 that I'm never going to pick up again and I'm never going to continue. I think that we as humans have this need to own things. Maybe it's because we were hunters and gatherers and it makes us feel safe, but going to the library is kind of a nice exercise in practicing like non-attachment. You can enjoy something and really connect with it and then return it, and someone else can use it and someone else can enjoy it. Which leads me to my second point. I can take it back. I don't have to fill my shelves up if I don't want to. I am trying to collect things that bring me joy, and having a little bit more of a streamlined home to help me with my routines. So the library is a nice way to not just accumulate and spend money. I can kind of give things a test run before committing. And also, I don't have stacks and stacks building up of, I'll get to this someday. That stack is at the library, and I can go there and browse the mega stack. And obviously, it's free. I think that a lot of us are trying to watch our budget lately. Maybe we're trying to spend a little bit more mindfully, but comics and graphic novels really do make me happy, and I do think that they are worth the money, but it's really nice to have access to something that you don't have to spend money for. All you need is a library card, which is also free. And the biggest pro for me is I just don't overthink my library picks as much as I would overthink something that I'm purchasing at a comic book store or a bookstore. Like, I'll grab something I might have skipped at the shop because I have a hard time spending my money on something that I don't think is visually appealing to me. If I don't love the cover and I don't love the art, I probably will talk myself out of buying it, but I'm sure I'm missing out on some narratives that I would have otherwise skipped. And at the library, I don't feel any guilt for bringing home a bunch of stuff that I'm unsure about. I know I'm lucky to have a library nearby, and not everybody does, but there are thousands of libraries across the continental United States. And wherever you're watching this, I actually have a couple of viewers from all over the world. And what's cool about libraries is that they will find stuff for you if you make a special request and stock the shelves. Also, if you show a continued interest in comics and graphic novels, and maybe you tell your friends to do the same, you can be the nudge that inspires them to build a graphic novel collection, which quite frankly, I think people would value. And I do think that it would be a cool way to, I don't know, expose library goers to graphic novels. If you tell them that it's something you think people would be interested in, they might really appreciate that. Chapstick break. Your girl's lips getting chapped. It's really cold here all of a sudden. Okay. Libraries are also establishments that I really like to visit when I travel. You can finish a comic and a graphic novel in one sitting, so it's kind of nice to see what the local library is like, what they have in stock. They might have stuff that your library does not have. You might fall in love with something and you can just sit down, read it, put it back on the shelf, and go about your trip. So I actually went to the library yesterday and I had my handy dandy library card, and I want to show you guys what I got. So I got Moon Man. I've never heard of it before, but the art is really good. I really like it. I like when stuff is a little bit messy. I got it yesterday. I'm almost done with it, and it's basically about this guy that goes to the moon with a crew with a company that is very, very comparable to Tesla, both in what it does and how it is politically charged, which is very of the times. And he comes back with some mysterious powers. And let me show you some cool art scenes. Okay, so it seems like he can manipulate gravitational pull. So here he is down in the corner, and look at this action sequence. I think it's really cool. The colors are pretty dope. I really like the chapter design. I love a good orange. I have a habit of just showing the pages that don't have any dialogue in them for some reason, just because they're just so pretty. But it's cool. I've really been liking it, and I've never heard of Moon Man before. I've never gotten a recommendation for Moon Man, but I found it because I browsed the library. I also got this one called Clay-Footed Giants. I've also never heard of this. This one's pretty hefty. It would have cost me $20 if I bought it in the United States. And your girl got it for free. And it is mainly black and white, but there's also a photograph in here. Pretty cool. And I just want to read to you the blurb really quick. Set in Montreal, Clay-Footed Giants is a tragic comic meditation on parenthood, masculinity, and violence. That's just the first sentence. That sounds very fascinating to me. I love something deep and something that makes you think. So those are my picks. I also got a cookbook. It's part of the title is covered up, but my half Latinx kitchen. I am Puerto Riqueña, so I do love a good Latin cookbook. Oh yeah, baby. And cookbooks are great to get at the library because they're expensive. And I can just try some recipes out, take some pictures of some pages, bada bing, bada boom. Your girl is saving money. But I digress. Okay, to wrap this up, I'm still figuring all of this out. I do love building my collection. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just want it to be intentional and not overwhelming. I really want comics to feel like something I look forward to and not something that I'm pressured by. But anyways, let me know what your relationship with comics and graphic novels is right now. If you've felt any of these sentiments that I've explained, I really, really love reading the comments. It's like my favorite thing. I love talking to people with similar interests on YouTube. It is such a fantastic community and a cool way to like meet new people and find new content that really speaks to you. Please like and subscribe. It does make this whole weird transaction of talking to the camera and editing for hours like worth it, and it is validating. So I really appreciate every single one of you that have done that. And yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think. I will probably talk a lot more about this if there is interest. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Bye. So I realize I have to do like poses for the thumbnail. What kind of emotion would I have when talking about the library? Library, late stage capitalism. Before I go, I have read a bunch of books this month. I'm going to talk about them soon. There's a little bell on YouTube that you can hit on my page, and it'll notify you when I upload a video. That would be awesome if you did that, if you want to see the next one, so I don't get lost in the sauce. Saving money. Consumerism. Superheroes.